أركانهم حطمت أحلامهم.
Okay, so the question here is, can we go to the kufr courts to get our rights? And the reason why this wording in particular is because a number of people, they say, although normally technically it's shirk to go to the courts, for me to hakum, but if we're just going to get our rights with our intention is only to get our rights and not really to love the kufr or to not really to worship the judge, then surely it should be permissible for us. This is completely wrong and is closer to the saying of the murji'ah, and I believe even to the extreme of the murji'ah, ghulatul murji'ah of the time of the Jahmis and the Karramis, who they used to completely reject any action making you a kafir. First of all, we need to understand, why do people go to courts? Any court. You go there for the fun of it. You go there, just to take a selfie yourself. They don't let you take pictures in courts in the UK anyway. Why did we were going to take a selfie when they took us to under duress, they forced us to go to these courts. We're all there together. I thought, look, it's the only time we're allowed to see each other according to our bail conditions. So let's take a picture, all of us together, legally. Yeah, they wouldn't let us. But why do people go to the courts? The courts, they are there because people lose their rights and they go to the court to get it back. That's the purpose of the courts. Who goes to the courts to give up their rights? They go there to get their rights. So by packaging it another way, just call it a different name. So I'm not making tahakum. I'm just getting my rights. Yeah, you're getting your right by making tahakum. Okay? If somebody said to you, the only way I can get my rights is if I go to the magician, the sahir, to use the jinn to get my right back. It's been stolen from me. Somebody took it, I can't find it anywhere. If I get to the jinn can go everywhere, look everywhere, and he can find my lost property for me. Okay, my stolen property, and I can get it back. What do you think, akhi? Is it allowed? Yeah, akhi, it's haram, it's shirk to go to the magician. So no, akhi, I'm not going to the magician, I'm just getting my rights. Yeah, you're getting your rights by going to the magician. And you're getting your rights by making tahakum. Yeah, call it any name you like, it's the same thing. Tahakum is when you take your dispute to a third party to resolve that dispute, when they make a judgment in your dispute. So if you take somebody to the court to say, solve our dispute for us, make a judgment in our case, but in my heart is, I don't really care about your judgment, I just want my right back, it doesn't make a difference. What you've done is still the same. Okay? You still made the tahakum, you still made the sujood, you still made slaughtered in the name of whatever. The judge says to you, okay, I'll give you your right back as long as you slaughter in the name of David Cameron. Will you do it? Is it okay if you get your right back? It's shirk. It will make you kafir. In that case, your choice for you, alternative is what? Give up your rights. Don't do it. The only exception is under duress, because the duress is not, the kufr and the shirk does not count. Okay, I mean you've been forced to go to the court. They've forced you to attend. So that force being put against you, it is a permit for you at that time to go to the court. Okay, and still, if you go there, whenever we're forced to go to the court, we still say the judge can go to hell. Shaykh always used to say, look, if I'm ever, the whole time in 11, why Shaykh Omar got a life sentence in absentia? He was in a case with about 50 different people, all accused of being Al-Qaeda. Most of the people in the case, they got 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, something like this. Some of them got longer sentences. They gave Shaykh Omar life in prison. Why? Because he never attended the court a single day of the trial. He rejected you. So because of that reason, they gave him life sentence. Then they captured him and arrested him. Shaykh Omar used to say, look, if they ever forced me to go to the court, when I got there and they asked me, do you plead guilty or not guilty? I say, you're guilty. We say to the judge, you're guilty. And all of you as well, you're all guilty, mushrikeen. That's the reality. Okay? Those courts, they are tawaghit. So it's not allowed for us to go to the courts to make tahakum. Okay? I'm not talking about walking into the building of the courtroom is not haram. Maybe you go to watch what's happening in somebody else's trial. Maybe you go there to investigate something. Maybe you go there to heckle the judge, like mashallah some of our brothers they used to do. Maybe you go there for a different reason. Okay, so not just going to the court that makes you mushrik. Going to the court with your dispute to seek a judgment, a decision in your dispute, that is called tahakum, that is shirk in Allah Ta'ala. We cannot do that in order to get our rights back. Whether it was a case of custody of children or any other issues, unless you were under duress, you were forced to do it. Okay? Somebody in prison, I don't look to what he does. Somebody's in prison, he's appealing, he's doing this, he's doing that, for me it doesn't count. Okay, I won't question, I'll never make the fear upon him, because as far as I'm concerned, he's under duress. Okay, by default I'll assume that that's the case, because that is the apparent, what is apparently his own situation. The other question, by the way, you have other alternatives as well. If somebody stole money from you, I can go and take it back from him. Simple. You know? There are a lot of people, they will never go to the courts anyway. We know many people in Jahiliyyah, okay, before Islam, before they embraced Islam, you know, they had a different lifestyle. They had a different way of dealing with things. If somebody stole something from them in the past, they'll never go to call the police on him. They'll call their friends on him. They'll go and knock on his door and break the door. That option is still available to you, akhi. It's halal. Maybe it's not illegal, but it's halal. Whereas the going to the courts for tahakum is not halal. Okay? Calling the police sometimes is allowed because it's not tahakum necessarily. Okay? But pressing charges to take them to court, that is shirk. It's not allowed. The question of now a woman's been raped, she can call the police to protect her. Okay? And to capture this man or to find this man, they can do that. She does not press charges. Now, if they press charges themselves, it's not her sin. She's not accountable for that. She called the police to protect her because she's been under attack. She's under attack, and she can protect her. She can seek them to protect her. Sorry. The way the Prophet ﷺ took the protection of Abu Talib in Mecca, he took the protection of Mut'ab ibn Adi, the mushrik, and Abu Bakr took the protection of Ibn Ghunna, and Uthman ibn Mad'un took the protection of Walid ibn Mughira. All of these were mushrikeen, and they gave protection to the Muslim. Is allowed for you to take the himaya, the protection of the kuffar, and so to call the police under that purpose is allowed. Even if they later on they go on to press charges themselves and take to the courts, this is their business. It's not your business. And it's allowed for you to testify and give witness testimony, because you can give testimony as long as it's the truth, wherever you are, in any place, without restriction. It's not haram for you to do that. Okay? And the issue about we love it or we hate it, that doesn't matter, because the tahakum is an action of the limbs. It doesn't matter what's in your heart. And even the munafiqeen that the verse was revealed about, in Surah Nisa verse 60, saying that they claim to believe in what Allah revealed, but they seek the judgment from the taghut instead of Allah. Even they made excuses about we don't hate it, we didn't do it for that reason. If you keep on reading the verses onto 61, 62, 63, you see the munafiqeen, they said we only went to the taghut in order to achieve some good relationship with the person and so on. Make excuses and say no, our intention was good, we had a clean heart. Those excuses were never accepted. Why? Because the action is shirk. When the one makes sujood to his shaykh, makes sujood to the grave, he said, no, I didn't mean worshipping him. I'm not saying he's Allah, just to become closer to Allah, because he's closer to Allah than me. So if I make sujood to him, then maybe these excuses doesn't save you from the shirk.
So to clarify, you can't instigate, obviously, you can't instigate a court case. Obviously,
Definitely, yeah.
That's not the duress, obviously, if you instigate.
Yeah, there's no way for you to sue somebody. Nobody forced you to sue him. I mean, there's no way that you are the one who is instigating the case, and yet you are under duress. And if somebody sues you, it's one of two. Either one that's backed by a physical threat to you, that's duress from the police or the authorities, where basically if you don't turn up, they will arrest and imprison you and put you in prison for. This is obviously a form of lesser duress, al-ikrah al-naqis, the lesser form of duress, where you have threat to your own bodily harm, genuine, you don't believe you can escape it, you don't believe you can fight them back, and you feel genuine that they will do it to you. Then here you have an element of duress. There's still maybe ways around it. Maybe you can write to the court instead of attending. There are things you can do. But then you have the other type of case where it's entirely civil. He's suing me. If I don't turn up, nothing's going to happen to me, but I'm going to lose the case. Let them lose the case. It doesn't matter. You can't go. You can't turn up to those cases just because you want to. You don't want to lose your rights. Okay. Let them have their judgment. Say what they want, and let them go to hell. You don't need to abide by it. As much as you can. If it's forced upon you, then that is your own oppression. And as long as you live in Dar al-Kufr, you're going to be oppressed. Accept it. Okay, you're going to be oppressed as long as you're living under man-made laws. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Whoever does not rule what Allah revealed, they are the oppressors. These two go hand in hand. If you are ruled by man-made laws, you are ruled by oppressors, you will be oppressed. Okay? Allah said what? That He said those people الَّذِينَ تَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ ظَالِمَ أَنفُسِهِمْ, those people who their own souls were taken by the angels while they're oppressing themselves. They will say to them, فِيمَا كُنْتُمْ, what was your situation? They will say, what? كُنَّا مُسْتَضْعَفِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, we were weak and oppressed in the earth, living in Mecca, that's why we didn't make hijrah. So the angels will say, is the earth, the world of Allah, is it not wide enough for you to make hijrah? Go somewhere where you're not going to be oppressed. Go somewhere where you don't have fitna. Go to Dar al-Islam. Why? Why you sit in Dar al-Kufr and say, oh, I'm impressed, I have to go to the course to make the hakum, sujood to the graves, and I have to go to the idols, and I have to go to the magician. You don't need to do any of that. Just make hijrah, save yourself from all of that bother. Okay? As long as you live in Dar al-Kufr, the right's going to be taken from you. Okay? Accept it, seek the reward from Allah, the compensation from Allah, or if you're capable, make hijrah and save yourself the trouble.